Rachel, would you say that this is the biggest outage the world has ever seen?
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. It is the biggest, and you can see it's impacted many countries. Australia got hit first because we were still awake when the update happened, but as the world woke up, you can see it rolling across the world, and it's had a significant impact.
It's hard to believe that something as simple as a software update could cause such chaos. Can you explain that for us?
Sure. So what happened is CrowdStrike is cybersecurity software. It sits deeply embedded in operating systems, and in this case it sat deeply embedded in the Microsoft operating system. So when they rolled out the update, which was software, so that's bad software code, it meant that it caused Microsoft-based systems to crash. That's why those of us working on operating off Macs were not impacted, but as we can see, many across the world also do not operate on Macs, and the Microsoft crashed, and that's why many people got what's called the blue screen of death.
Given the massive impact, how long do you think until the system is fully restored?
Look, CrowdStrike have come out and said it could take some days. I think we'll see days and weeks. This is a hands-on keyboard exercise, which means you're going to need your IT team, if you're in a bigger organisation, to come and help, or smaller team. And at the moment, in Australia, we're in a weekend, big organisations will be scrambling, but smaller companies will be impacted by not having staff help. So we will be feeling the ripple effects for this for at least a couple of weeks.
What are the vulnerabilities that this has exposed and highlighted, and what are the conversations that need to now happen in the coming weeks and months to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen again?
Well, it just shows we live in a highly connected, software-enabled, so digitally connected world, and it's incredibly vulnerable when something goes down. We saw last year with Optus in November, when one telecommunications provider goes down, it impacts millions of people, and this is no different, but this is global. So it is about having business continuity plans. So in the event that your operating system doesn't work, that means the way you function, if you're all enabled by Microsoft or Mac, that you need to have workarounds. It's going to have to be a conversation around every business table and boardroom for the coming weeks around what do we do if we can't access our software and we cease to function, or at least parts of our operations cease to function, we can't service our customers. So dusting off those business continuity plans, having strategic comms in place, and really understanding what do we do if we can't function.
So it's not so much not being so reliant on these technology systems, because in the current world we live in, there's really no other choice, but it's more about having a plan B, C, D.
We are reliant. That genie's out of the bottle. I don't think anyone's going back to paper and pen or hard currency anytime soon. I think it's about understanding that with reliance and that convenience comes enormous fragility at times, and we are held hostage, in effect, to what's happening and what has happened yesterday and today.
This was a system failure rather than something more sinister. What are the lessons that we can learn for potentially, not just if there's another system failure, but if there is an actual cyber attack?
Well, I think this is a teachable moment, and it's a wake-up call around the world for, if this was a global cyber attack, and that is would be a very concerted attack if it did happen, and that, I want to say very clearly, has been ruled out both by CrowdStrike and others. I think it shows, though, again, that one system can bring down so many other organisations. It shows that we are all underpinned, and it really demonstrates that we need to be not just cyber secure, but cyber resilient. You need resiliency so that you can have a workaround if you just can't access what you need to access, and also looking at what key systems need to be on certain operating platforms, what can be quarantined, and diversity of vendors and offerings. And that's no small feat. So I think, again, it is a wake-up call to what is going on with our own systems and how we are so fragilely interconnected.